What do you know about this movie?
You know, other than the very dramatic things and previews that we've seen, I don't know anything. I honestly have a very bad expectation for the movie. I think it's gonna suck.
Really? Why?
Yeah, I don't know. All the previews made me believe that it was gonna suck, so I'm just gonna. I got some coffee, so I'll be staying awake. I feel like it's just gonna be a drama about the Joker getting beat up and all these sad things happen, and then an hour and 45 minutes into the movie, the last 15 minutes, we're gonna get the Joker.
Do you know how long it is? Do you know how long
2
the movie
hours
is?
and 4 minutes, right?
Okay, 2 hours and 4 minutes. Okay.
Yeah. So I feel like it's gonna be an hour and a half of build up, and then 15 minutes to climax.
Okay, we will have to wait and see.
Joaquin Phoenix, the Joker.
Yep. Ray, do you know anything about this movie before we go in?
Yes.
Okay, what do you know about it?
I know that it's got awesome reviews from Rotten Tomatoes and a lot of other movie critics. They said that the director basically redid the whole entire dynamic of what the Joker was from what we presently know of the Joker.
All right, so we have to go in with an open mind about the origins of the Joker?
Absolutely, yes.
Okay.
Was I a fan of Joaquin Phoenix at first when I saw him going to play the Joker? No, I was not. But when I started seeing excerpts of little parts of trailers and excerpts leading up into this, it seems to be that he's doing a very, very good job. He's lost weight for the movie and everything else like that. So I'm expecting the movie to be extremely, extremely good. I am.
All right, Terry, what do you know about this movie before we go into it?
Nothing too much. I know this is the origin story for the Joker, and I read a little bit like 2 weeks ago, and I don't know how accurate the story is, but I'm just going in just to see what happens.
All right, you are usually upset when movies don't go along with what the comic book said.
I have to be honest, the Joker's origin is something that I truly do not know a lot about.
Oh, okay, good.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, I know a lot about Batman's origin, but the Joker I never really did. I thought that when Jack Nicholson played the Joker, that was the real origin story.
Oh.
But from what I read, that wasn't the real origin story. So again, I don't know a lot about it. So
Okay.
I'm going in with an open mind to see what happens.
All right.
All right, I don't know anything about the movie other than trailers that we've seen. I do agree with Dayron that it looks like it's going to be a lot of drama and a lot of origin story, and we don't know how much of a Joker part that we're actually going to see in this. So I purposely didn't read reviews. I purposely didn't want to know a whole lot. I just want to go in with an open mind.
All right. Hello, all, and welcome to the Tall Table. I am Leon Phelps. No, I'm sorry, I'm Ray.
I have DJ Zion 7.
I'm Mike.
Dayron.
I was gonna say I'm rocking a new haircut, but
Yes,
okay.
you
I
are.
was going to actually say that, but you know,
Okay. Well, I didn't mean to cut. I didn't mean to
Terry's
cut out
haircut.
Dayron.
And this is Dayron.
And welcome to the Tall
the
Table.
tall table. So let's go ahead and get some.
Joker review.
Well, yeah, Joker review, but I want to get into this. You ain't nappy by nature any longer. You actually nappy.
Yeah, rocking a new haircut.
New haircut.
Terry hasn't had hair for many years, so he just grew it out completely, and then he got a barber
Yeah.
to come over and got a fresh cut.
It
yesterday.
actually stimulated off of me saying that he would not grow it out. So he actually proved me
I
wrong.
actually
So
grew it out.
it is what it is. So
We all think he looks younger.
Oh,
yeah,
I think so.
you look like new money. I hear that.
I like that.
I give you that new money for sure. But today, guys, what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to actually talk about the Joker. The Joker was we actually saw it a couple days ago, but we wanted to go ahead and really
Think about it.
let it set in,
Sort of sit on it for
sit
a
in,
little bit.
and really give a great review. I'll go ahead and go first. First of all, again, I'm going to go ahead and give it a 5, 100% 5. And I wish I can go ahead and give it a 20, but for certain reasons.
As
editing.
everyone in the cinema world knows by 5.
I'm going to go ahead and give it a 5, but I would give it much higher than that. Things that I completely loved about the movie was, number one, Joaquin Phoenix. Joaquin Phoenix played a phenomenal role in this whole entire...
He did, didn't he?
Yes. He did, yes. I am a Joker fan. I've liked when Heath Ledger played the Joker, and the sad thing about it was, or the funny thing about it was, it's always now when we talk about the Joker, it's always, is someone going to be able to fill his shoes or compare to him on the screen? And that was kind of a conversation that we did have with another person did say, who did you like better, Joaquin Phoenix or Heath Ledger? The movie was not of that magnitude. Again, when we start talking about Heath Ledger, he played a phenomenal job, but he was already the Joker. It was already stimulated. He was already doing bad things at that point, and his progression had already gotten there.
That's a good point.
But this is the origin.
This is Origins. Yeah, so with Origins, you kind of you try to want to understand how he got to become the Joker. And, with the mental illness that he basically did with Joaquin Phoenix, he played it so great because one of the biggest things that he had to deal with is mental illness. And mental illness was not something that he was born with, but something that was acquired when he was adopted from a family. So he was beat over the head, which ended up getting brain damage and stuff. So that's kind of where the laughter actually came in from with the Joker. So
Do we know that? Do we know that's where it
yeah,
came from?
that's exactly what it is. They tied him up against the radiator, and he was the
And then he had that card that he would say that.
Well, he had the card that said that he laughed for the wrong reason.
But there was the girl. His mother's boyfriend was the one that was hitting him and he caused brain damage.
Wow.
So that was the reason why it ended up happening. So him by himself, he owned the show. Robert De Niro was actually in it as well too. But again, from start to finish, cinematography. All of the things that you kind of look at from the Joker, and you may have been missing in DC, Marvel, and all the rest of that, especially with them not being able to go ahead and tie the comic in with the actual character. They were able to go ahead and hit on that 100%. So I can't even say it was anything bad for me. And it's one of those movies where I would go back to the movies to watch it because I feel as if I would end up getting something more from it that I would miss. When it does come on HBO, Netflix, or whatever, it will be one of my classics that I will watch probably 20 times and can go ahead and recite it like some of my favorite movies. So with me, Joaquin Phoenix, awesome job. How he depicted it and how he actually, really got into character the whole entire time from start to finish, I love. So it's 5. And 5. How it's gonna be? I want to mess it up. All right, so I'm gonna pass my mic. So hopefully, that's my interpretation. That was my review. I'm gonna go ahead and pass it to the right to New Money.
Okay, I'm going to say it's a 5 also. I found the story a little dark, but I definitely... a lot. but at the same time, it was definitely a 5. If you like movies like Silence of the Lamb, it was a very dark film also.
That's true.
This is a good comparison to that. It was just very dark, but it was definitely very good. I don't know if this is truly the Joker origin story because I've never really known the Joker's background. I've never known his origin story. So I don't know if this is true or not. But this seems to be the most accurate one that I've ever known of. I mean, because the only thing I knew about the Joker is that he was insane. And that he ended up in Arkham. And
is that the prison?
Yes, the prison.
Yes,
in Arkham. And then he was so crazy that he turned Harley Quinn crazy, and she was supposed to be his psychiatrist when he was first in Arkham.
I didn't know that.
He drove her crazy and turned her into Harley Quinn. So I don't know if it was.
And Harley Quinn ultimately started falling in love and was enamored by him.
Oh, that's right. I remember that from the animated. Did they show that in the animated series?
Yes. And as far as this being my favorite Joker, I'm going to say it's a tie. I still like Mark Harmon as my Joker because he's been the cartoon Joker for all the series. And I know people say if they're cartoon animated, they can't be real. To me, that's kind of real because I've watched the animated series for years. And Mark Harmon was the voice of the Joker, and he did the Joker so well for me.
I think it's fair to say that a animated show is as real as a comic book.
Yeah. I mean, and to me, this Joker kind of was the same as that Joker, but that Joker still was a little crazy in some of the other cartoons. But again, I give it a 5, and I would tell anyone to go see it. It's going to have a lot of dark spots, and your mouth is going to drop open several times, but. You can't leave. You're glued to your seat. You can't leave. You want to see the ending. And that was the great thing about this movie.
It's not kid friendly, so please do not try to go ahead and take a child to this because number one, they're not going to get it, and like I said, it was very
mature enough.
Yes,
for it.
And it could be disturbing for not the right age group. So definitely be cognitive of that for sure. But.
So now I'm going to pass it on. Right, and see what goes from there.
All right. Well, this is one of those cases where we are in agreement. I think we have a 5 so far. Mine is a 5 also. I have to say that I wasn't allowed to read comic books when I was growing up, so I've never had any interest in that or a movie versus this story or whatever. I just always watch all of these comic book based movies as standalone movies.
Okay.
This one is, yes, it's very dark. I wanted to address that you might have read headlines of people walking out during the performance. It's not because it's a bad movie, it's because it's so dark.
And controversial.
Yes, well, it is controversial. Some people don't like to look at mental illness, and this movie studies it. Studies it, and you see him because of Joaquin Phoenix's performance. You see him cracking over time. It's not just a one-time crack. Yeah. It's bam, crack a little bit, bam again, crack a little bit. This poor guy, even though he's actually, and I have to say that too, that during the first 3/4 of the movie, maybe, I was feeling sorry for him.
Yeah.
I think that they make you feel sorry for him because he's trying. He's taking his meds. He's trying to be better. He's trying to be funny. He's trying to be nice to people.
He's meeting with his caseworker.
Yes.
Which is not giving him any attention at all.
Right. She's your typical big city, socially paid psychiatrist who doesn't really care.
Yeah.
And then, as part of a maybe political commentary, the social services for that city are completely cut back. So you always ask, well, what is going to happen to the patients? Well, this is one scenario of what might happen to a patient who needs medications. He really draws you into his character. And then when he snaps hard. And I remember hearing gasp. I mean, there's so many things that happen in this movie. It's not just one scene. It's this, and then this, and then this, but towards the end of it.
And on the flip end, it was when he did snap, it was justified. You kind of
understand.
You kind of understand why.
Yes.
I'm looking at it as a.
They build it up so well that you're like, oh, so that's why, and you're able to understand it. Even then, his shocking metamorphosis towards the end when he turns into the Joker, really, that's what's happening.
You're almost like waiting, like
shock.
saying, "Okay, I need him to turn now."
Yes.
Yeah, that's what
yes,
I was.
Yes, I remember Dayron in our video for the entrance of this video that we're filming now said that he thought it's going to be a lot of development of the character and all that, and then at the very end we might get to see the Joker, and that is what happens.
Yeah.
But it was a necessity for the movie.
Right.
So again, this is a movie for a 5 for me because of the cinematography, because of the acting, the whole package. I would see it again. I was working on trailers. You know how I put the little trailers here at the beginning of all of our reviews, and I was looking at that going, I'd like to see this again. From a character development standpoint, it is cinema with an A+.
We heard you. We heard you, and we both just
Yeah.
said the same thing.
We
As
went
soon
right
as we
back
heard
to
the
that.
laughing,
Yeah.
we was like,
We went right back
"Let's
to the
do it."
movie.
Yeah, he has this wild Joker laugh. So kudos to Joaquin Phoenix and everyone that was involved with this. So I'm now going to pass it on, and I feel bad for Dayron because we've had 3 people talking about the movie.
Yes.
I don't know what is left for Dayron to add, but we're going to find out.
I enjoyed the movie, like you said. There's not really much left for me to add at this point, and you pretty much said what I said before we went into the movie. So I don't know what much more there is left for me to say.
What was your favorite part?
The Joker was, to me, a really good movie. I like how they tied the music in with a lot of the scenes, and how they tied some of the other past events into it. I didn't think I was going to like the movie, but I ended up liking the movie a lot. I don't watch a lot of DC movies. I'm not a big DC fan. I think the DC movies are kind of boring and just they lack a lot of what you expect from a Marvel movie. Maybe I'm just spoiled or I'm expecting too much, but this one definitely delivered for me. And I'd watch it again. Joker was a 5 out of 5 for me. So I pretty much agree with everybody else.
Would you go to the movie theater again, or would you wait?
I'd probably just wait.
Okay.
Here's a question for everyone: do you think that he should be nominated and win the Oscar for this?
100%. I think he should be nominated.
He should be in the running.
He should be in the running. I mean, there's a lot of movies still yet to go ahead and come out.
Yeah.
But I feel as if you have to come. I mean, it's not like it's going to be one of those things somebody's going to go ahead and, they're going to have a Academy Award performance for them to go ahead and beat him.
They're going to have to overcome this one.
They have to really do, because the thing is, outside of everything else, I kind of look at it, you've had to go ahead, he's had to deal with playing behind a couple different Jokers. Certain ones his favors, like Heath Ledger, yours animated. You have Jared Leto, and you have Jack Nicklaus. So you have a lot of those guys that you kind of end up doing. Say, how's he going to do it? So you have that first component. Then the second component is, him really going into the aspect of that mental illness, that mental health. Because the thing about it is, how do you study that? You can't go to a insane asylum or something like that.
It seems very genuine, very real.
Absolutely.
The only thing that I can say that that I say bothered me just a small bit was that his mom was delusional, right? She had this. How did he basically get the same thing she had if she adopted him? From the, I don't see that being hit on the head.
I think that's nature versus nurture.
Yeah.
How much do we inherit from our parents versus how much are we nurtured? Am I saying that wrong?
Nature versus
Natured. Nature versus nurture.
Yes.
So she raised him crazily. Although, not really. We don't know about the adoption. We don't know why he was given up or anything about it.
Well, the thing about it is that you do, when he was adopted, she was basically with the Waynes, which ultimately let her, she had to go to a psychiatric hospital. She got out. And during that time, they already basically said that she had something going on, but then she was allowed to go ahead and still raise that young child. So,
and like you said, she had a really bad boyfriend.
She had a bad boyfriend. She got in bad relationships. We just know about the one that just beat him up.
But that's my thing, though. She fabricated this whole relationship that she had with Bruce Wayne's father.
Which, remember, he doesn't find out about
until he's an older man.
But then he fabricates this whole relationship with this other girl. To me, that's like hereditary, isn't that?
Well, you don't know how bad that head trauma was. You know what I'm saying? The things that we got from it was that he did have head trauma. His mom was this. So nurture versus nature, you could have that. But I think the trauma that he basically did endure during that time and tied up to a radiator, those are all things that we heard. And I'm sure it got a lot worse. So, when you get to that point of, you being beat or tore up that badly, you can theoretically try to put yourself in a better mind space of, I want a better life, I want to be happier, I want to do this, and you can kind of conjure certain things up. So if he was looking at it and always heard from his mom that, oh, Bruce Wayne's dad was this great guy from the time, even from when he was a, adult male, I'm sure it got passed down, while they were watching their TV shows, like, oh, Bruce Wayne's dad is going to go ahead and save this world and this. So he always had that.
We got completely cut off without knowing, guys. The camera turned off. We didn't see the lights or anything. So we had about 3 or 4 more minutes of us talking about this movie. But you know what? We already left our reviews.
Yes, we have.
Yeah.
It's a 5
all the way through.
Go see it.
Definitely go see it. For sure. Go see it twice.
And did you like this review? Check out our channel, The Tall Table.
Yes.
And leave us a comment. Have you seen this movie? Do you agree with us? Was it a 5? Because this has been a controversial movie. There's other people that I've spoken to that hated it.
Yeah.
So how do you feel about the movie?
Yeah, definitely. And again, with all of our different outlooks, we were all the same on stuff. If we don't know what we're talking about, hey, listen, we like good, bad, and indifferent. So please leave a comment. So that way I can go ahead and argue with you. No, I won't argue with you, but it'd be enlightening to go ahead and see what you guys say.
He likes to argue.
I'll do it.
And the next movie that we're going to review is
Gemini Man.
Gemini Man.
Yeah, Will Smith's movie. It comes out this Friday, and we will be definitely watching it in our 4D theater. So our seats will be moving and everything.
Oh, good.
PG-13.
It's PG-13?
But I love
Yeah.
Will Smith, so.
Okay.
We're normally liking our movies because they're a little bit more realistic.
Yes.
Ours for realistic. But we're going to still go in there with an open mind like we always do with all of our movies.
Damn sure will.
Right. So I guess that's it.
Guys, we're signing off. So with that being said, live
Your
Best.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
See ya.